Hello again, ladies and gentlemen out there. Hashtag Ask Mr. Nkosi. This is Engineering Drawing N2. I'm catching up from a previous question paper of August 2011. It was written on the 21st of July, X paper, Engineering Drawing N2. So, but I want us to check question 2, which it was a sectional drawing, but this sectional drawing it was given in what? In first angle orthographic projection. So this one is very broad then. So guys, this is first angle orthographic projection. Remember, we've got first angle orthographic projection and third angle orthographic projection. So double check is paying how much? 21 marks. And we cannot bear to lose even a single mark of this. So this is a first angle orthographic projection. So it says figure 2 shows, figure 2 on the attached diagram sheet. One shows an outside front view and an outside left view of a what? Of a joint piece. So which means this what we are drawing is a joint piece. So draw according to a scale of 1:1, which means we don't divide and we don't times anything there. We'll be just recording dimension the way as they are. So 1:1. And in first angle orthographic projection, the following views. 3.1, draw a full sectional what? Sectional front view on a cutting plane, on a given cutting plane. Double check, 9 marks. Then draw a sectional left view on a given cutting plane, also 9 marks. Then draw the following tightly and the scale beneath the layout, which is 2 marks, plus draw the symbol of the first angle orthographic projection, which is 3 marks. So I normally say these 3 marks, they are marks for free, even if you don't know how to draw anything. But just to print this, you'll be given these 3 marks. Even if you don't know, just draw the given views and draw, and print this joint piece and scale 1:1 and draw the symbol of first angle orthographic projection. 3 marks is just imagine. So the very first thing that we have to draw this. Double check. Are we asked about the top view? No. So this is straightforward. You have to draw this. But when you are drawing it, also double check that when I'm cutting here, which one is going to change dark, which one is going to disappear, so that those lines which they'll disappear, you don't even draw them, isn't it? For instance, what do we know in sectioning? We know that dark lines, they must disappear. And chain lines, they must what? They must become dark. Or dotted line, hidden details line, they must become dark. But only if the hacksaw cut it. Remember, we cut to separate here. We cut to separate. We cut to expose the inside view. So the very first thing that we have to do, we have to draw the given view. And I will advise somebody to start with the what? With the left view, because it is the one that is saving so many cycles. So you'll be just taking their circumference. It will be more simple like that. So another thing that is very important for somebody to understand is that you have to calculate by looking to say what I'm going to draw is going to fit here, because it's very important to double check whether your drawing is going to fit to that particular space of your drawing paper. Okay, I would say this is the center of my what? Of my left view. This one is the center of my left view. So the outside diameter is diameter 60. So 60 divided by 2, so that you'll be getting a radius to open it to, which means you must open your compass to 30. 30, isn't it? So can I put it here? 30. So I draw. dark, because of I'm sure that it's gonna be dark. Assuming I wasn't sure, so I had to draw it faint. And also you mark that, okay, you drew the cycle. Where were you placing your compass? So there, my compass was placed there. So I must put a what? A horizontal line. Horizontal center line. Remember, a horizontal center line, you can even draw it dark. It's one and the same thing. So here we are, which is that one. So the second one is what? Is diameter 40, which is this one. Remember, this is the left view, which means when you are checking at this front view, on your left hand side, this is what you're gonna see. When you're looking at this position, this is what you're gonna see. Then again, this is your left view. When you're checking it on your right hand side, this is what you're gonna see. So this is one thing. So that is why this is our cutting plane. That is why this cutting plane, they are pointing at this direction, which means they view it this side. So, and the cutting plane, this cutting plane, they're actually talking about what? About the front view, which is this one. You see? Then if we're there, then let's see now, the second one is diameter 40. So 40 divided by 2, which is going to give us a radius of 20. And also double check whether are you supposed to draw that or not. So this one, this diameter of 40, as far as I'm concerned, we have to draw it faint. Why faint? Remember, while you are drawing, we are also answering the question. And we are also answering the question. They said the full sectional left view as well. Because I can also interpret the question just by looking at the what? At the cutting plane. So this, guys, let's go together. This cutting plane, this diameter 40 is beyond the cutting plane, or it's before the cutting plane. Double check. Is it cutting it? No, it's not cutting it. So that is why it's gonna go with the what? With an offcut. It's gonna go with an offcut. So which means we don't have to draw it dark. So that is why we are drawing it faint. Why are we drawing it faint? Remember, we still have to draw the front here. So the front is gonna help us, isn't it? But it's not gonna be there. So the second one is diameter what? 30. So 30 divided by 2 is how much? Is 15. There is my 15. Then draw it faint as well. Draw it faint as well. So now having 1, 2, 3, which is 1, 2, 3. Then from there, just to draw these lines, you'll be just taking your circumference of the bigger cycle. So you draw it faint. You draw it faint. Right? And then we're told that from the center going down is how much? It's 60 millimeter. You told that. There is my 0, 50, 60. I mark at 60, isn't it? Then after that, I draw a faint line. Then after that, how do I do? After that, let me check. Remember, it's very important to double check whether are you still on the right track or not. So now where 60 ends begins what? 15 millimeter. Do you see? Then there is my 0, then 10, 15. And I draw a faint line as well. So then we are told that from there till there is 90 millimeter, which is the width of our sectional, of our left view, sorry. So remember, we've got a center. So the center will equalize everything. So 90 divided by 2 is how much? Is what? is 45. So which means I'll be just putting it at 45 like this. There is my 40, there's my 50, so there's my 45. 90 and 0. You see, while I'm measuring, I'm also drawing because I'm trying to save time. So, which means here, now it's gonna be dark like this and dark like this. So, now I'll be just, remember, every time whenever you're not given an arc, for instance, to say, hey, there is radius so and so. For instance, here we're not given. Every time whenever we're not given, we are using this one. This one is still one and the same thing as what? As the one of 45. We're using this one. Only if it's behaving 90 degree. So this one is at an angle of 90 degrees in it. So that is why we'll be using this one. So this one is for a certain angle, but this one is for a 90 degree. So like this. So again here, so which means it's which one? Is this one, isn't it? It's this one. So again here, like this. You have to be careful. So I draw dark from here till there. Okay. Then we're told that from here till there is 10 millimeter, which means again from here till there is 10 millimeter. So automatically this one is gonna come out for itself. Then I come to measure 10 millimeter. There is my 10, and then again this side 10 millimeter. So after that, I have to draw this 10 of my faint as well. Faint. So if there is somewhere I have to erase, I'll just erase, because what we know is that we don't section on top of a dark line. So do you see that even here we're still having these arcs? So we still use the same method. So it's dark from here. You see? Then again, from here, I can even start here. I stop there. You see? So now, as far as I'm concerned, by following this cutting plane. So this cutting plane, remember, don't be confused. What is this? This is a dimensional line. So the actual part of your front view is actually starting from here till there. Not this one. This one is symbolizing Uti. This one is your 120. Are we together? So is the when you are tracing the cutting plane, now want to draw the full sectional left, it's up to you. You can even start with the left or the front. It's still one and the same thing. The hacksaw started to cut from here till where? Till there. But from there till there, it's a gap, isn't it? So from here till there, the hacksaw didn't come across with any hole. It doesn't have a hole because these holes that you see, they were before the cutting plane, or they were beyond the cutting plane, isn't it? So they were not disturbed. That is why here they must disappear, isn't it? The law says the dark lines, they must what? They must disappear, and the chain lines or the hidden details line, they must become dark only if the hacksaw cutted them. Are we together? So, which means when I'm such an extent, I can begin to put my hatches. But as far as I'm concerned, from here till there has to disappear, from there till there has to disappear, which means I have to erase here. Are we together? And then now we section. How do we have it? Remember, every time when we section using this set square. The name of this set square is a 45 degrees set square. So we section, so it's up to you whether your hatches, they must line like this at an angle of 45 clockwise direction or at an angle of 45 as well. Anti-clockwise is still one and the same thing, but they must be at an angle of 45 and equal spaced. Like this. Okay, this is what you're supposed to have. Those constructional line there, you won't be penalized because they are faint, so we regard them as constructional line. So from there, so we now want to draw the left view. This one is the left view, isn't it? This one is gonna be the front view. But if they can say time up, once you're having something like this, your 9 marks is already yours. So remember, this is orthographic projection. So now our front view, it has to be on our this side, isn't it? You cannot put it here, you cannot put it here, you cannot even put it here. This is orthographic, isn't it? So this one is this one. So the front view has to be this side. And we always space our views with 20 millimeter. So which means from here till there, I'll measure 20 millimeter. That's where it has to, my front view has to start. So I put the vertical faint line. So now I'll be taking all the points. Faint, even this one. Faint, even this one. This one, faint, yes. So I've took them. Okay, we are told that the true length of your what of your front view is what is 120. The true one, both from here till there is 100, isn't it? But from here till there is 120, and then you have to measure 120. Remember, from here till there is 20, which means we separate our views with 20 millimeter. So where your 20 millimeter ends, that's where you begin to put your what, your 120. So my 120 and 0. So where my point 0, I must what? I must put a vertical faint line. All right, you remember now that we are constructing the what, the front view. So from here till there is 120, which means it's from there till there. So I can draw it dark here without fear or favor. Dark and dark here as well. Dark here till there. So dark from here till there, which is this part, isn't it? So from here till there, which is this one, from there till there is that one, from there till there. So which means I won't be measuring any measurement in terms of the vertical, because I know that the front view and the left view, they will always share the same height. So which is this point. Dark here. And then so remember now, we've got hidden details, and the law says the hidden details or the chain line, they will become dark, but regardless of they were cutted. So for instance, here at this cutting plane, of course they were cutted. Do you see that the cutting plane started to cut from here till there? Then from here till here, it's a hole. Sorry, from here, okay, let's start fresh. From there till there, the hairs was cutted. From here till there, the hairs didn't cut it anything, isn't it? But at the back part of it, it was cutted. At the back part of it, which is this one, isn't it? Was cutting. So which means here is this part. Then here is that other one. There is that one. So from here till here, the hacksaw cut it, which is that part. Then from here till there, the hacksaw didn't cut it anything, which means is this part. Which means is this part. And then from here till there, the hacksaw cut it. So this part, which is that one, won't be having hatches there. So in other ways, this has to become dark, but from here to there has to disappear. Then here, dark everything. Our hatches, they'll be going here. Here. Remember, from here till there, we said it's going to disappear up until even here. So, okay, now let's see. They said from here till there is 40 millimeter, which is 40. There is my 40 millimeter. I'm also drawing both, isn't it? I'm having the faint line, so I don't draw just anyway, but I'm drawing on top of a faint line. So where 40 ends begins at 10. So I'm also measuring that 10, but that 10 I have to measure it, isn't it? So I put a horizontal faint line. Even here, I must put a horizontal faint line. So this one, I have to trace it. There it goes, which means is this is this faint line? Is this one, isn't it? Is the second one on our left. There it goes, this goes. You see, there it goes, which means it's this point. Remember, we said it's gonna change to dark as well. Dark like this. Dark. So how about the 10? The 10, which is from here till there, is for what? Is for the second one, which is the last cycle. Dark as well. Dark as well. Dark as well. Okay. Come and see what is happening now here. Let's check. So this is gonna be, remember, from here till there is dark, eh? So but from here till there, that part that part is gonna disappear. Remember, it is now an inside front view, so it must disappear. So we're not even gonna draw it, but it's gonna be dark till it continues till somewhere there, which means we have to deal with this 10 way from here. There is 10 to 0. So I put a vertical faint line, and it has got an arc. Do you see? It has got an arc, so which means I have to use this one. Here we are, and again it has got an arc even here. Remember, from here till there it's gonna disappear, which means I don't even have to draw it. So it's an arc even here. Then now I can conclude it like this, like that. Then remember, the bottom part is not a 120, but while the upper part is 120. So from here till there I must measure 100 millimeter. There is my 100. Look, while I'm measuring, I'm also drawing till 80. So it's ending here. So where it ends, I put a vertical faint line. So this one is gonna be further extended till here. So now I can close. So this is your internal front view. So now to section. Remember, they must be at the same angle with this one. This is not an N3 assembled drawing whereby our hatches, they must different in terms of their space, and they must be different in terms of their position. But this is one thing. It's just different view elevation that they view. So the way you have section, the way of section, the position, it must be as the same as the one of your front view. Even the way you section your hatches, you equal space them, they must be also equal spaced even on the other view. Here we go. Here we go. Remember, here we don't section, and before we even forgot, remember that here is dark, which is this one. Remember, this is that part, isn't it? So we cut to separate the other one. Whatever that it's beyond the cutting plane, isn't it? We consider it as an off cut, but we'll be still seeing that one. We'll be still be able to see that part. That is why it has to be close, even like that there. So you section here, section there, section here. So we always section using a 45-degree set square. Here we go. Here we go. Do you see the other part up there? It's already starting to show. Here we go. 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 Which is the last one. Then this is your full sectional front view. So like this, you take your 18%. So 9 marks for the left view, 9 marks for the front view. So how about the 3 marks? So if they're saying draw the following tightly in the scale beneath the layout, they are simply saying print this thing the way you see it. You'll be given 2 marks. So draw the symbol for the first angle orthographic projection. The symbol, which is this one. This is the symbol of what? Of first angle orthographic projection. So they're saying draw it the way you see it. Then you'll be given 3 marks. Then you take your what? Your 21 marks. So thank you very much, guys, for your time, to watch this channel. Please like the channel and also subscribe. Please don't forget to comment. Comment, I like your comment. Please subscribe for so that more videos will be uploaded. Thank you very much. Stay blessed.